Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about suprasegmental features, more specifically about syllable, word, and sentence stress. Reflect on my experience teaching suprasegmental features in the past and how I think I'm going to improve it. Previously, for teaching suprasegmental features to my students, I used a series of recording clips, both audio and video, of conversation to my students for helping them to understand the total music of English language. I also suggest them to watch movies or cartoons to have a knowledge of pronunciation patterns. That means how a conversation goes on with all those expressions in real life. But the lacking of my teaching method was I neither taught them pronunciation with these aspects from syllable, word to sentence level gradually, nor I introduced them with certain rules of these aspects. Those are very common, and nor urge them for oral practice. Thus, for initiating a better understanding of syllable stress, firstly, I will introduce them with what syllable is, and secondly, I will teach them the easiest tricks to count syllable in polysyllabic word like listen and count, clap and count mentioned by Yoshida. And for this, I will help them by pronouncing a word for 2 times and ask them to pronounce the word with me for 3 times, and in this case I will make use of clapping as Marsha does in her video to help her students. This physical activity will help them to brainstorm the pronunciation pattern and to build a muscle memory towards the words. Apart from this, I will also make them aware of disappearing syllable, which is very common in natural English, and help them by oral practice of some common words with audio clips, so they will have an idea of this kind of syllable too. The next one is word level stress. Word level stress is very crucial for students, as not every syllable gets same level of stress while pronouncing a word, and also stress initiates changing of a word meaning. As Han stated, improperly stressed words and phrases can lead to misunderstanding, so it is important to teach students to hear and produce a stress on the correct syllable of a multisyllabic word. Thus, I will teach my students the characteristics of stressed and unstressed syllable. I will also give them practice with audio clip of words and ask them to mark a stressed syllable with their perception. Again, I will teach them basic rules for word level stress to have a general idea, though there are many exceptions in putting a stress on different situations. Syllable stress learning is more likely corresponds with realization and perception, and it's only possible with extensive range of oral and listening practice of pronunciations. As you should have stated, even if students memorize rules, it's harder for them to apply the rules correctly, producing word stress. It works better to students notice the stress of new words and realize that stress is an important part of each word. Next comes sentence stress. It corresponds with rhythm, thought groups, and prominence. Rhythm is about timing, where syllables do not all last the same length of time in a sentence. Thus, stressed syllables need to last longer, and unstressed syllables need to be short and quick. As you should have stated, to make the English sound natural, make the stressed syllable longer and clearer, and unstressed syllable shorter and less clear. So to maintain rhythm in a sentence, I will suggest my students to reduce or shorten the pronunciation of functional words and to give emphasis on syllables of content words. Again, I will provide them general and basic ideas about when and where they should emphasize on and when not. But sentence stress may function opposite from the word level, but certain practice may create a general understanding, and they may realize and internalize the rhythmic patterns automatically. Besides, thought group deal with pauses and add more to the meaning, and it's not possible to make a sentence level utterance without having one or more pauses. To Yoshida, pauses break a sentence up into logical parts, and that each have with grammatical structure and a chunk of meaning. For this, I will teach my students the characteristics part of thought groups with examples which will help them to have a better understanding of it. However, in thought group, there is always one word that gets more emphasis, and that's the prominent word. It has almost same quality as a stressed syllable, thus you should have mentioned prominence can be called focus or sentence stress. To teach prominence, I will introduce my students with its characteristics first, then teach them general rules like last content word rule, new information, old information rule, emphatic stress rule, contrastive stress rule, and disagreeing and correcting stress rule to have a better understanding of prominence words in sentence level stress. I believe these steps will help my students to realize and internalize overall suprasegmental aspects of English language. That's all. Thank you everyone for listening to me.